In this BookBolt tutorial, I'm going to walk through some basic steps on how you can align and center and move things around, make sure that things look the way they should. Let's jump in. The first thing I want to point out is whatever page you're on, there's going to be a little layers icon over on the right-hand side. Now, if you don't see this, what you can do is expand it out. It might look like this. Click this little arrow button and you'll see it's expanded out. Now, there's only one layer right now in this page, so I'm going to go up and work mostly here in the cover. So this layers panel, you can actually move things around in here pretty easily. Whatever you select in here, so for example, I select the heart, you'll see it's highlighted. There's a little blue button right next to the shape. If I select the horse, for example, you'll see it says image. So if you have a lot of shapes, you may want to rename these. I'm going to click on the image button here, double click it, and I can name this now something that means something to me, sparkly unicorn. You'll see it now updates right here. If you have layers sitting on top of each other, it can sometimes be confusing if you click and it's like, oh, now I'm in this layer. I click over here and oh, now I'm in that layer. So one thing that you can do is you can lock in the layer. I do this actually a lot with my black background. So this is my background over top of my template. So I'm going to make sure that my background is covering the template. And then I'm going to go right here. I'm going to click the little lock button and you'll see now the lock is activated. It's highlighted. Now when I click on the black, you'll notice I can't do anything. It's completely locked in there. Same thing here with the cover title. If you're happy with the way this looks and you don't want it to move or change, simply go over here to the right-hand side, lock it, and now you'll see I can't change this. I'm clicking away, nothing's gonna happen. If you have a lot of things stacked on top of each other, it can sometimes be difficult to access the layer. So for example, that horsey in the background there, sparkly, I can't really get at him. When I try to click on the horse, I wind up clicking on the other layers. So what you can do instead is go to the layers panel on the right-hand side and actually select right there the unicorn. So now I could move him around. I can use the arrow buttons, for example. I'm just holding down the left arrow key and I can move him out or in. You don't have to use the mouse. Another thing you can do is change the opacity. So I'm going to change the opacity here of my sparkly unicorn. I'm going to click this little opacity button right here. When I select it, it's just a quick slider. You'll see it goes less and more in terms of opacity. That can be really nice if you're fine-tuning an image. If you're working with text, I'm going to select my mental health layer. I'm going to change how this font looks. I'm going to make it quite a bit bigger here, but you'll notice now I'm not happy with this space in between. It's too segregated. So I want to make the health move up closer to the mental. And I can do that by selecting the text size. It's right here. And when I do that, not only can I change the font size, but I can change the line height as well. I can make it higher or lower. Same thing here with the character spacing. I can make it fatter and skinnier. So you can really fine tune the way your text looks. You don't have to settle for just baseline fonts. Really make it your own. If you'd like to align something, you can do that as well. So here, for example, I've got my horsey selected, and as I move them around, you'll notice this green line pops up. It's trying to center it on the back of the cover. It's the same thing here on the front. You'll notice it all of a sudden activates. It's the same thing if I'm scrolling up. You'll see that it does the same with it being halfway up the design as well. Now, one thing that I often use when I'm moving this stuff around is a grid, and you can see right down here on the bottom left, there's a grid lines option. You can add a grid, and so I'm going to select that, and it asks you for the number of columns. I'm just going to put in 20, for example. It's personal preference. I'm going to click OK. Number of rows, I'm going to say 20, and I'll select OK. From here, you'll see that there's now a grid, and this can really help if you're trying to fine-tune a design. You can make the grid as detailed as you like. When you're done with the grid, you can simply select clear. It says, are you sure you want to remove it? I'll say yes, okay. And we'll see that the grid has now been removed. Now, if you're getting frustrated, if you made a mistake, you can go back in time. It's not a problem. You're going to see this little button right here, and it says undo. And you'll see there's a little triangle here on a bunch of dots. And when I click the undo button, you'll see it goes back 1. So you can actually see your progress. So there, for example, I've gone back in time enough that the grid is back on. Now, if I'm happy with the way all this looks, I just wanted to double check it, I can click the forward button, which is redo, and that moves it forward in the progression as well. I hope you found this walkthrough helpful. Aligning your cover and your interior pages doesn't have to be a chore. You've got a lot of tools here at your disposal. I'll put a link to BookBolt in the video description below. Just a heads up, it is an affiliate link. That just means if you click on the link and you purchase the BookBolt subscription, I would receive a small commission. I use BookBolt a lot for Amazon KDP, and it's a great way to earn some passive income selling books all over the world. Here's another video where you can have some fun using BookBolt.